Yeah, get it. Get it, broadcaster. I'm proud of you. Here we are again, back on our bullshit. um, Hello and welcome to the Ilderon Tales. We are a little bit late tonight because this system we're playing Ilderon Tales and Twists tonight. The system's still in development. This is, I guess, a beta test for it, slash also continuing the game we were playing. Tonight's group is Stars and Coins, and this is Saga 1, Episode 20 of their campaign. Everything you're going to see is live storytelling, and I'm very excited about it. When we last left this... Oh, if you're under the age of 14, still going to see content inappropriate for you. When we last left this group off, you were in the nation of Red Axe, in the just north of the city of Southcrest, on some of the lowland foothills of Mount Motomolima. You are currently staying with, or were bunkered outside of a village of Pelori tribes people. The party has been tracking these Pelori as they are responsible for stealing a cache of very powerful magical items and weapons from within the city, and the party witnessed a gang of these Pelori use the weapons against their enemy, which naturally led them to the idea of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and they have been here trying to befriend these stubborn people. After getting nowhere with these people, Easy has elected to undergo the tribe's ritual of bestowing authority. They are not a democratic tribe, but they do have a council of people who make decisions that anyone can gain access to if you undergo the trial for it, much like the Asatar tribes, or the Asatars of Yandar's far off to the east. Easy tracked down a Mithrite beast, a giant mithril infused mountain goat. They are normally docile but mean creatures. Easy was tasked for the trial with calming one and befriending it. After getting thrown off a mountainside, bashed around, thrown about, Easy had finally walked away, or had finally established enough of a relationship with this thing to calm it. One of the Pelori from the tribe is here watching as a witness, a lady by the name of Basaneth. And Hope is also watching.
Hope is there.
Yeah, as Easy has been tossed about. Easy, this Mithrite beast is okay with you being in its space. And before we pick up from there, the other half of the party, Lyra and
Laya?
I'm getting Laya. Laya and Christmas. I was getting some bad feedback, so I'm just gonna watch this for a minute. Laya and Krishna were well, the whole party was negotiating with a devil, a desperation warborn by the name of Kreldis. She is a extraplanar entity that chases desperation and makes deals with desperate mortals. She offered the party shortcuts to all of their goals after much talking back and forth, and Bassineth refusing to cooperate. Each of the party have declined Kreldis's offers. Kreldis let the party know that if they want to beckon or contact her in the future, they have that cursed Ashvane ingot that has been causing misfortune for the people holding it. Laya said maybe we shouldn't hold that, and is taking Krishna to her safe house. So we'll fast forward. We're not going to fast forward. We'll start with easy real quick, and then we'll fast forward. It's currently the 11th of Servant, heading into Nightfall. You have time to make it back to the village. Is there anything else you want to do here before I move over to Laya and Krishna?
No, because I imagine anything of import would be like, haha, I have bested your challenge and now have a voice in your tribe, and whatever roleplay follows, which is far more time consuming than I'm comfortable with, given I was basically the center point of last session.
Yeah, so you and Hope can head back.
So basically, yeah, establish that we're headed back to the village and then change scene.
So we are
Hope,
going
does
to...
Hope want to do anything?
No, Hope's cool.
Cool.
I see
Why
what
not?
you're doing,
Leave.
Rob.
I just wanted to make sure Taylor wasn't left out.
Yeah.
He's-
You have to make space for
Hope-
them to roleplay.
Hope is
Hope is
president,
very
and Hope has agency.
No, I love it. One of our EXP questions: did any player make space for another player to contribute? But we're going to swap over to Matt and Aloe for Laya and Krishna. You all travel along the road. You find your way back to the trade paths. The road leading towards Crimson Keep to the east. I would say I think I told you this thing was like 3 hours out of town.
Yep.
So yeah, Laya, this is your safe house set up
Yes.
for you. How about you describe to us what Aloe and Krishna see as they are approaching?
Sure. So basically what we're doing is we're going along the road, and there isn't a clear delineation of where something should be, like a house or anything. But Krishna is pretty good with like forest and being a wanderer and like noticing stuff about nature as far as I'm aware. And she'll probably notice that there's a certain part in the path where high up on these trees, there's two branches that seem to be cut facing each other, almost as though that was a doorway. And from there, Laya will turn and go in between those two trees and go further down a not path, but more like a little animal trail until it goes into what looks like an abandoned house, just rotting away in the woods. And where she'll go with you to carefully roll up and pick up a piece of the rug off the floor where there's a trap door underneath, which she'll also lift up and then look at Krishna. It's like, all right, go down.
Get in the hole.
You might want to squat. It was made for me, and you're kind of tall.
Fine.
Yeah. Very short climb down. But as you can see, it's like an incredibly cramped area, jam-packed with a whole bunch of different like scrawlings and magical symbols across every single wall and surface, as well as just stacks and stacks of papers and different little mechanical, like it looks like equipment used for observing things, boiling, not currently, but like little alchemist things with like pots and the little tubes and flask of things meant for like study, and a lot of just really strange things and like bottles. It looks a lot like a witch's hut, and there's just a whole bunch of dangerous looking magical things everywhere in a room completely covered in runes in the middle of fucking nowhere, effectively. As she'll climb in after you, close the door, close the little trap door as you hear the mat unroll on top of it, and then she'll just do a little clink as a lock on the inside as she comes down into the room. It's like, well, this is the place. Sorry about the clutter. So let me go, I'll go ahead, and then she'll like scoot over a massive stack of books, and you can see like there's a little like chalk outline. It's like, okay, so you can put the metal there.
All right.
You seem disturbed.
Minus the massive kink in my neck and back. This is all new to me.
What part?
Gestures vaguely at everything.
Well, so I haven't, like, I found this place, and then I dug out this hole, and then I've been like, I've been at this for a while, but
Oh, sure, really, just picking up some leaves off the ground and just opening a trapdoor means found, air quotes, and then proceeds to hit his head on the. Proceeds to hit her head on the ceiling.
well, no, this was like a little like piece underneath, like the trapdoor's new, like not new, but it's old. It's a lot less old than the building. Like most of this place I've dug out and then like waterproof. It took a long time to get this here, but that's fine.
You just suddenly get 10 years older.
Yeah, I got 20 years older.
Yeah, so you have time.
But yeah, like if you're looking around, you see a whole bunch of just honestly strange things. Like you see like a bounty hunter's license, and then just like a stack of papers, which you assume are like collective bounties. You see like list of like people in contacts in different cities. There's just so much like very suspicious shit like filtered into a very small area. And yeah, she just like goes over to like the cursed metals, and then starts like using the chalk to like create more runes around it, as you use the rune lab ability to prevent anything from corrupting, exploding, or any experimental magic causing damage. So I can study mysterious items.
Yeah. Krishna, you can set this this piece of metal down, and the whole time you're holding it and you're near it, it just gives off that horrifically like cursed aura. You feel bad. There's like a shiver that kind of follows you as you put it in these circle of runes. You are going to see that a lot of their focus is just kind of nullifying that, almost only temporarily. As your hand is near it, you still feel it, but once you pull away, that feeling just kind of leaves you.
Yeah, and I think I was like, okay, well, here, and I pull out like a very small stool. Take a seat. Let me go ahead and look over you. And I would just like try to look at the curse breaker to make sure there's nothing lingering on them.
Okay. That is I made that feat, but also it's our ability.
Yes.
But it is a new thing for me. But I don't think Krishna is technically cursed if she let go of the item.
Yes. It is just a.
Yeah, I would say as you're looking over Krishna, just like you guys suspected, the curse is attached to whoever is holding the item, once you separate it, there are those just few whispers of like, no, pick it back up. But
Should
leaving
we
it
roll to see if
out of the rune ward, you're fine.
Yeah. I think like I have you like sit down, and then like a piece of like the mechanical machinery like goes out, and there's just like this big looking glass that I put my eye up to as I like just scan it up and down on you. It's like, no, you seem fine. Looks like that was good. How are you feeling? Any insatiable appetites, any irresistible urges, or any feelings of wanton chaos or destruction?
just going to stamp like Krishna's maybe at a loss for words with just everything.
I'm just gonna chalk that up to the normal teenage amount. All right, beautiful. All right. You seem disconcerted.
Disconcerted. Papers of bounties.
You cut out.
That was intentional. Like
Papers of bounties. I mean, do you find it surprising that I had a job? I don't.
Killing people?
You've seen me kill at least 4 people.
Yeah, in the name of self-defense, not in terms of money.
One person, I broke into their whole facility, stole magic items, and then killed them when I got caught. What do you mean in self-defense?
I'm just going to sink my head into my hands. Just out of I have no clue.
I mean, I understand that, I mean, if it makes you feel better, most of the papers in here are about my theoretical degree in Rhycraft. So you don't have to, most of these papers are not bounties. Part of the reason I wanted you to bring these here is because I always found Devil's contracts to be interesting, because they have ways to bind your souls to creatures in other places and have the magic inherent to them to move souls, or at least the ownership of them, which implies some form of Rhycraft. And I don't know if you're following anything that I'm saying right now, but I'm gonna keep rambling. Which, it's very interesting. Soul magic and Rhycraft is, of course, a very dangerous field, which is why I try to do this away from people, so no one needs to get hurt or found out, so I have to kill them, so everything's good, and you won't say anything about anything you see here, and you also don't remember where this is.
You got that right.
Beautiful. Great. Love that for you. But no, I if you're all good, can you move? Just shove the desk holding the metal towards the object, so I can start scanning over it and trying to study basically the cursed metal, and I'll also put the contract that I have saved somewhere here to try to understand how the magic of these things work, or the curses, using what knowledge I have of Rhycraft and how souls interact.
So you have the Peldeth feat,
yes,
correct?
I have a theoretical degree in Rhycraft.
Yeah, you never attended a university, so you have nothing to prove that you have this degree, but Laya does have the knowledge. Unofficial Peldeth.
That's why I call it a theoretical degree. Do you have a degree in theoretical Rhycraft? I theoretically do.
Yeah. I would like you to make that more specific in terms of Laya's area of study, because Rhycraft as a subject is essentially like the arcane.
Oh, give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. I'm so sorry. But effectively, her form of study would just be like the souls and the way souls move.
Okay. And when you get back, I will let you. I'll let you know on that. Otherwise, I think after this, I'm going to move the party all back together at nightfall to the village. So not Laya, everybody on deck. I'm getting some feedback from someone tonight. I don't know who it is.
I believe be Aloe.
Okay, let me turn her down.
I think. And it stopped.
Sorry, I am back.
No worries. For Laya,
Yes.
so as far as studying this and trying to pick up some more information on how devils do these things, you're going to know that these creatures are incomplete beings. They are fragments of concepts that have gained sentience, and that plays a aspect into how they can connect with other things. So specifically for Rycraft, in the subject, you wouldn't have to roll, but you're connecting knowledge to this. So I'm gonna say give me a recall check. And this the subject you're on is physics. And you'll always get information. This is one of those ones that's uncontested. Just as well as you do. So go ahead and roll with expertise.
Yes.
Whatever die you have set to your expertise.
I think I did. Did a number come up anywhere?
Yeah, 3. Okay.
Not great, but I also don't have a big die.
Yeah, you'll be on the common knowledge here. So Laya did not go to school, and did not study the periodic table. There are elements and stuff that are very reactive with others, because of like how they bind together, like hydrogen and things, that alchemists would probably have more knowledge on, but it's probably some similar concept of these creatures being able to react with other things and then take, change, trade, etc. The exact specifics, I think if Aloe combined this knowledge with like an alchemist, you would like be able to kind of get a greater understanding.
Got it. I think in this moment, like she's understanding this and like forming, and how they're able to form these like individual like chemical like type bonds. Which she's not she's not like an alchemist, but she has like little books and she has like abilities to like mix and match things. But so she understands that like there's a form of like bonding happening, and if it's happening in this way because something is incomplete but is existing in its incomplete state, she just kind of mumbles to herself at that moment, which I assume Krishna gets to hear. Is like, oh, interesting. So does that, if it's making that type of bond dependent on it being incomplete, I wonder if there's a way to sever that bond, just like you would like different chemical reactions, you could undo them or change them into different things.
In this session of Ilderon Tales, Laia invents the nuclear bomb.
Not the nuclear bomb. It's just basically like, like separating salt from salt water.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's like,
Maybe I thought you were saying separating atoms, and I was like,
no, like how like you can mix like
yeah.
sulfur and something else, but then you can also separate sulfur from it again if you do the right chemical reactions.
Yeah.
So she's just like thinking, if this is how they bond, that means there is a way that you can destroy that.
Yeah, I love the idea of trying to fix devil bonds with like reactive alchemy. That is a great approach. I think there's probably not much more Laia can gander just from sitting and studying these two individual pieces.
Yes,
from this.
I will ask one last thing to do with these things.
Go for it.
I know. I figured out the like incomplete part and like the attaching to the soul bonding part, and I understand. This creature put some of its magic and some of its essence on this metal, and cursed it. Right. I would like to see if I could use my curse breaker like ability, or try to figure out something to do with my curse breaker, in order to isolate her specific magic and her ability to bond to things, if she's bonded with this metal in that way. Because it is cursed, and it can transfer to other creatures.
I feel like this is going to take some clinical trials, probably on the only one of the only two people here. Your choice on either you or Krishna, and I think that this is going to be a try-it action. That Laia doesn't have a great idea on how to do that, and it could result in
being cursed.
No, well, either in being cursed or the loss of this metal, or who knows what.
Understandable. I look over at Krishna, who is still probably losing her mind about like the fucking little murder cabin I have. And I'm just like, hey, an interesting idea. You like helping people and being selfless, right? You got real quiet on me, Krishna.
I feel like, Matt, you're muted if you're talking, but I feel like Kristen's just staring in horror.
Oh, he is muted. Oh no. Krishna!
He might be talking to somebody in the background.
Oh no. Okay.
There's always Laia.
There is always Laia, but she would ask Krishna first before trying something on herself. But I think that's something I wanted to do, and I wanted to have a conversation, because there was another reason I brought Krishna out here, but I can't do anything until she's here. So you can go back to easy or whatever until Krishna shows back up.
Krishna has a 1,000-yard stare in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will switch back over to the other group. I ideally wanted to do all of you together. So how about we say that Krishna's a little too traumatized right now to undergo testing. If Laia wants to do these tests on herself, she can, but otherwise I'm going to move the group back together in the village.
You know what? I would... I don't think I would try it on myself just yet, because I think other people still might be willing to help me.
Okay, yeah, easy's hard to hurt.
So.
I kid. Okay.
I don't know
So
how
you
well
can
easy
hold,
we get that here.
you can hold Kristina's hand and walk her back to the village. Around nightfall, everybody would be getting back into the village, and the banner that was active last session is going to be resolved. Congratulations, Easy. The you have no say here. No one thinks you belong here. Take -2 to all reason actions. To remove, earn a voice. Easy. As you step back into town, Bassineth is following you. You walk to Grothrin, and he can see the dirt and everything on your armor and the scuffs. And Grothrin is gonna be the first one to say, how long did he get tossed around before he gave up? And Bassineth will shake her head and say, had it in the first 40 minutes. Grothrin will say, shit. He looks to Easy and says, welcome to the tribe.
Pleasure to be here.
I'm going to respectfully stay back.
Grothrin will lean into Easy and say, you don't want to throw in your lot with the wrong people. I can get you a place in Merrick's gang if you want. You and your spindly friends.
Well, put it under advisement.
I don't know, Easy. I am pretty fragile.
Hey, I'm the best warrior in the village. My word goes a long way.
I didn't disagree.
Can I make like an insight check? Like, it's not Grothrin's gang.
Yeah, go for it.
What would that be?
Oh yeah, I guess this is a different system. Stop tricking me, Rob. How dare you?
Well, I'm sorry. Sorry, that was me asking in the sense of like I'd like to make an insight-esque roll.
So that would be a perceived?
Yeah, I think that would be like perceived picking up on details and like his body language and stuff. Or
yeah, but
even looking around at Bassineth.
I need like a quick guide for.
There is on your second page your basic actions. All of your things are there. So your
perceive, make an uncontested instinct or expertise check.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say I shared my blessing with you as we walked into the town. I knew something was gonna go. I patted you on the shoulder and said, "I'm gonna help you out."
Darn.
God's on your side.
So close.
What is my god's name? I forget. One sec.
Isn't it Amira?
It might be.
No, you follow the Given Wills, don't you? That's the Alilia.
Yeah, Lilia.
Or wait, no, you changed to the Water Goddess, I think.
Hopes can you act together?
Yeah, I think you're somewhere between Alilia and Umia.
I'm sorry. So what does that blessing do for me?
+1.
Oh, so then it's a 9.
Okay. Yeah. I would say generally every time you've seen somebody guarding the trail into town, it's been Grothrin. Just looking around at some of the other villagers towards him, there is a bit of respect and a little bit of empathy. As far as warriors go, he doesn't look like much, but it might be true.
There might be a kernel of truth to this, even if best warrior in this village is still like the worst warrior in a drunken mithril mall pub night.
Yeah. And I think Bassaneth would probably tell you Grothrin's father was one of the first to be sent into the consummate's forces, and when they came back years later, his mother went the second time. His family has a tradition of valor.
So this is that character. Grothrin comes from good stock. He's legacy of badasses.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm adopting Grothrin. He's my son now.
Yeah. This Pelori in front of you, has got that pale green skin.
He got that dog in him.
Well,
The dog.
he's about 14. He's
Well,
on that transfer from lanky to teenager.
okay, so he's about to hit puberty and get that dog in him.
Yeah. Or he's in the throes of it.
In the throes of dog.
No,
We don't throw
the-
dogs here, especially we don't kick pigs.
The throes of puberty. I might be totally mispronouncing that word, but hold on.
It's throws. It's not.
Also, for the record, it makes much more sense for Easy to adopt a 14-year-old than most other times anybody's probably ever uttered a similar sentence.
Yeah.
I have 21 children at a different game. I understand it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I don't actually know off the top of my head what that means.
Not what you were using it to do.
Um,
Thorough is like very, all-encompassing, I guess. Like you did a thorough job means you did it well. You covered all
It means
the.
that you've gone over every aspect of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the phrase I'm looking for is from the Bible. The throes of victory.
It's THROE. It's with an E
Wild,
instead of
yeah,
a
not
W.
thorough.
Anyways, he is in the middle of puberty. All grammar aside.
Okay,
Um,
so then that to me also does an extra flavor of, again, this child might be the best warrior in the village, but he's also a child.
Yeah, yeah, that you're
Which we've
totally
covered before,
right.
that the only people in this village are children and the elderly. Like,
Yeah.
Bassinet is basically the only viable adult.
And not only children. Like Merrick, looks to be a decent aged member of the society, and a few others with him. But I would say when you look at this village, which you do not see warriors. You do not see Pelori people who normally live outside of society and have to protect and fend for themselves. I would say, like, when you look at Merrick, Merrick has got the build of a thief. Lith.
Faster.
Well, he stole a bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, no, I mean, and that's kind of the idea too, right? Because if they were getting conscripted, I have a weird feeling that it's either this broadband thing of like, okay, are you 18 and can breathe, or like that motherfucker's built like a Prius. He's coming. So then nobody's gonna take the gangly 16-year-old.
Yeah. 14-year-old.
Is that how old Merrick is? I was talking about Merrick.
Oh, okay. No. Yep, Merrick's actually an adult.
Drew, I also get the timeline confused
No,
of exactly how long ago their adults would have been conscripted.
Yeah.
So, easy.
Mm-hmm.
While you were in the mountains wrestling a goat, did you happen to think about what you're going to do when the Shiver Spine pirates show up and try to steal it, since they know all the stuff, since they know it's here? And that's what they said they were gonna do?
I have 2 plans on that. Plan 1, a tactical surrender.
Okay.
2 pirates?
What?
Yeah, look, I feel like Senema is the kind of person that if you just hand him the loot, he'll just kind of be like, oh, okay.
They're former
Yeah, but
pirates.
then isn't the whole thing that you did here, because whatever you do here doesn't invalidate the contract that they need to be the ones to kill him, right?
Yeah, and they don't necessarily need these weapons to do it. And I'm not saying that's my first plan, I'm just saying, one of the options, tactical
People
surrender,
can do that,
to keep
number
these
one.
people alive. Because if they die, send off pirates,
What's the other
then the contract is really good. We beat the shit out of the pirates.
plan? I like the first plan.
So the first plan is tactical surrender. The second plan is attacking the people who brought us here.
Look, you guys have a deeper relationship with the Shiver Spine pirates than I do.
Side note, you can breathe underwater. No.
It's like I just want you to note that, and I will respect your guys' views on that. But I don't know Semina from the hole in the ground, so if I put him in one, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
I will.
Well, I will say I probably won't participate in this fight one way or the other.
Then I'm leaning towards option 1 because I'm good at fighting. I don't think I can beat an entire pirate crew in Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
I mean,
Option 3, I don't know, maybe we move the loot, but that doesn't really stop the murder thing because they'd have to confirm the loot isn't present, and they are pirates.
I'm actually
I mean, if
kind
you
of
want, I can
curious.
move it.
Yeah, but my
I'm-
point is like, how do we distract them from it, right? Like, how do we get them to move their attention?
We can all breathe underwater. We take it underwater, away from here.
I was just gonna say I can put it somewhere where no one can find it.
That too. Also,
No,
I
like
might have
I'm all for that because I would like to keep the loot for general purposes. My point is, how does that help, like, get the scent off these guys?
Well, then you can do the tactical surrender. They can look through and not find.
I can do the tactical surrender. The other 3 people can take the rest of the loot. I'll take a little bit of the loot, and everyone else take the rest of the loot underwater. Or 2.
When
much
on the
safer
note about
keepers.
like a little bit of the loot, you know, I don't actually know what that cache looks like. We might be
Neither
able
do
to
I.
hide most of it and then like give them a token item.
I won a mythical trinket from a kid in the town. We can tell them
Well,
that
I'm
was the loot.
assuming, you'll be able to convince them to part with it.
I am
them
very
being
good.
people of this town.
Right.
We fought a boar.
You did fight a boar, but so did everyone else.
Did they?
I mean, more or less,
people
but I
who
mean,
make
like,
decisions,
you gotta, you know.
And
Mm.
since I didn't participate, I know that you're one down. So good luck in that. But I will let you know the option is available. That if you can convince them, I have a really good place to hide it.
Mhm.
I'll have to try and figure it out because, yeah, again, I don't, want them to die.
Yes. Also, would you be open to some maybe clinical curse trials eventually at some point? It's okay. I theoretically have a degree.
Nothing that you've just said has made me at ease with the concept of you manipulating my mortal soul. That being said, sure.
I can heal
I'm
you.
really good at it, to be fair. You've seen me.
Yeah,
leading
like,
through
it's fine.
many immortal souls.
I am actually very curious to see how many enemies that Easy and Hope as a duo could take on. Because as long as I don't get hit too quickly, I think we're just going to be functionally immortal. But I guess we'll see.
Alright. Well, sorry to distract. I just wanted to ask about that because I feel like they said they would be happening around nighttime, and it's around that time.
Worst case, we jump in a lake.
Worst case, we jump in a lake.
What makes you think
I'm
There's a
gonna agree.
river.
If you're near
Krishna's
me, you
going
can
to
breathe.
eyes, like side-eyed all of you at that comment.
Krishna's back?
Krishna,
I tried to
Krishna's
talk to
awake.
you. What the hell, Krishna? I tried to talk to you.
Krishna has shaken out of her second
Super.
trauma induced stupor. Otherwise though, you all as long as you're with Easy, Aseneth is going to head into the village and start informing people of Easy's trial. Grothrin doesn't look at the lot of you with the same resentment. Tentatively, if anybody steps forward, behind Easy, you guys are allowed into the village.
I do have one question real quick. Mechanics question.
What's up?
For that roll Rob did for the expertise, does my +1 go to the end like an ability or to the roll itself? Like, can it be? Is it a push?
Oh yeah, like if it
or-
makes it,
It goes
like if you
to-
get like a 5 + 1, it becomes a 6 on a d6. Does that blow it up? Kind of
no,
thing?
no.
Okay.
The
Okay.
bonuses go straight to the roll.
Okay.
Push is a specific effect that moves dice. Push
Okay.
and drag.
Okay,
Cool.
that's how I interpreted it.
That's how I did too, but just
But no, but I do like the clarity because that was important to know because I would have blown up.
yeah, it would have blown up if it worked. Okay, cool. No problem.
You all have the freedom to move through town. You see Bassinet talking to people. I think walking around, you can probably see Merrick is sitting and working on a fine craft. And he'll be watching all of you. His expression softening just a little bit of like, all right, you guys did it. And from the changing from the I don't like you expression and you don't belong here to these are people that I shouldn't underestimate. A weird form of respect.
No, I get it.
Yeah, like I said though, there's just not a lot here. There's like 2 permanent structures. Otherwise, people have set up a few tents around that different people sleep in. There is 1 set of stables. There are no creatures currently within the stables. Oh, actually, it is nighttime. It would be back. There is 1 Mithrite beast they bring back to the stable that will lay down there, but they do not close the gate.
I want to go see the beast.
All right. Yeah. Hope you can see one of these creatures again in close proximity, approaching the Mithrite bees. I don't want to make its whole card public, but yeah, it is a massive mountain goat. This one has way less mithril infused throughout whatever bones you can see. Its horns are probably mostly bone with little bits of mithril in it, as it's been living off the mountain for a while. And this creature looks towards you with a tiny bit of like frustration, but not aggression. It is somewhat domesticated, but mostly what you're able to tell is this creature is too old to get up and be feisty. It will run its horns along the ground as you approach, just kind of and it's going to it'll probably keep watching you a little bit, but it's not going to bother getting up.
Okay. I want to keep eye contact. Move slowly forward. I want to pet it on the forehead.
You are able to do so.
Nice.
This creature regards you a little bit suspiciously as you like cautiously touch it. Eventually it's going to shake its head and lay back down.
Okay, I'm going to share blessing with it. It can now breathe underwater.
What a gift you've given it.
It gets +1 to its next roll.
You know
just
what?
in case this place becomes, floods. It's fine now.
These things do unfortunately randomly punt things, and I think the longer Hope's here, it just scoops its horns down, and even though it's old, this thing's got a lot of power as it just lifts Hope and throws her about 10 feet away.
Okay. Kind of try to land it.
Yeah, how about you roll me your contest die?
Okay.
This will just be try it.
Well, it
Oh,
explodes.
that's beautiful. Roll a d10. Did you see how to do
Yeah,
it
yeah,
on your sheet? Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's going to be only the 5 adds. Your bonus
14,
doesn't add
yeah.
twice. So yeah, it's going to be a 14. Hope this thing throws you, and you are going to do a a graceful flip in the air. How does this look for Hope?
Yeah, a graceful little tuck and roll flip, definitely over backwards, and then land on the feet with a little smile. Saw it coming. It's okay.
Yeah, hot darn. A couple people watching you are well, actually a couple people who Bassineth had talked to will come over and say, you should have undergone the trial.
I mean, Hope was there. Hope helped.
Oh yeah, I was there. I was a critical part of the trial. I gave Easy a +1 once.
The lady you're talking to is gonna say, nobody's really had the spirit to wrangle or train Mithrite beasts the last 8 years. She's the last one we have in the tribe.
What are you gonna do when she stops being able to work?
The lady's going to nod and say, the voices are going to be voting on tonight if we are going to pick up and move closer to the city. Moving closer to Marissa means we have to pay her taxes, but it also means that we don't have to work to grow and collect our own food. We can trade with merchants, I guess.
Rough situation. Hope it goes well tonight. Can I reach out and Can I reach out and pat her arm,
Yeah,
showing
yeah. sympathy?
All right, I share my blessing. She can breathe underwater now.
The woman will shake her head. And I think there is a shimmer with that. And she's. What faith do these people believe in? I think they believe in the Meandeth.
Yeah, Meandeth, baby.
Yeah.
Are they aware that they're getting blessed?
Yeah, I would say that there is some infusion of this holy energy.
Oh, okay.
And as you do it, you say, I hope it goes well, and she's like shaking her head of like, oh, and you infuse her with like that holy energy, and
Yeah.
she's gonna say, you're touched by the Meandeth. Haven't had one of you around since Bassineth.
I'm not gonna correct her. I'm gonna say, well, yeah. I like to spread my blessing around. I hope it helps everyone.
The lady will nod. And how old is she? I'm gonna say she is 26 plus 1d12 of years. 10. She's 36. So she will have.
She gets +1. She gets +1 to her next roll.
Oh. 37?
I just aged her a year.
just
yeah.
magically age her a year. Oh no!
So she would have some history of some of the younger people here in the town.
Did I curse her?
And she would go on to say, Bassineth used to work in the healing hut, but she took her gifts and started using those to hunt in the city for whatever that group is she works now. If you're with one with a voice, then it'd be nice to have your gifts around the village more often.
Are there people in the healing hut now? I can go help them. I should probably pay it a visit. Try to not age them.
She's going to shake her head and say, Bassineth doesn't visit every week. We sent our sick into town
Okay.
a few days ago.
Okay. Well, if I can spend some time here, I would love to help out.
I just want to note that this lady and Easy are peers in age.
Oh, cool.
'Cause she's 37 now, thanks to the Curse of Hope. Easy is 36, so
yeah, she'll give you her name.
I want to point out, if you're hostile to me, I can make you younger.
What? That doesn't feel like a threat.
All right, put up them hands. Let's go.
Hope's all like, fuck with me and I will show you that I am the master of time.
She gives you her name, Isidari.
Isidari, okay. I'm going to type that out because I've heard those names.
She is a lady who roams around the Mithrite Pilori village. If you guys are just wandering the village, I will say one of the cool things you do see, they do have some of that mithrite oil from these beasts, and it's not as much as you would expect. There are metal workings here in some of like their permanent structures where they use mithril for struts or things of the things that have been here for a while, and a lot of that is now lost. But you do see people, using this oil for those fine little crafts, using their fingers to shape mithril, almost like clay. Do you guys want to do anything specific other than wander?
I think Hope's had enough action for the moment. She learned she can change people's ages. Pretty cool.
Do you want to share with your party? You learned that there's going to be a vote tonight.
Oh
So
yeah,
all I
that'd be
can
good.
be is like, guys, I'm the master of time.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna walk over and tap Easy's shoulder. You can now breathe underwater.
God, how old is he? Okay, good.
Just don't roll for your age. It's okay.
You watch
Um,
me rapidly prune.
Every time I touch you, you gain a year. No. I'm gonna say, all right. They're holding some sort of council tonight. You want to try and get in on that? Do you want to try and influence the decisions of the village in some way? Do you want to lead them to their own devices? It's you. I think you have more of a stake in this than I do.
Did you specify what it was, or just be like, "Yo, there's a vote tonight. You gonna help?"
There's a vote tonight about what to do if they're going to relocate the village or try to stake it out here. They're running out of ways to make this village work. So they're either going to have to do something desperate to try and bring everything back together. Specifically, they need more livestock.
Laya,
Yeah.
you asked me how I was possibly going to get them out of trouble with the shiver spines, right?
Sure.
What
Yeah,
if their
appropriate.
moving is, in a way, the solution? I mean, obviously, if
Well,
they get
I
up and
would-
move, well, sorry, obviously, if they get up and move, that's one thing. But I guess my point is, what if there is an alliance here we could make?
I would like to remind you that while officially the Shivered Spine Pirates are not allowed to rob and steal from the Amarissa territory, that they've already done it like 3 or 4 times in the very short time we've been on their boat.
No, but my point more is to get them under the same banner. I don't know how much honor there would be under that, but strictly speaking, not just getting them under the same purview, like laws-wise. Like, oh, hey, wait a minute. Basically, what if we start turning Southcrest into our sort of hub?
Well, you would need to convince Amarissa, which I haven't met, so I can't tell you anything about her really. And the other issue with that is like, you know, Captain Seema, lovely person, love them. They also seem very chaotic and kind of like they're just going to do whatever they want to do on impulse. And I don't know if that's kind of like.
Every time I hear something more about this man, the more I'm wondering why people were against the idea of me just putting him in the ground.
I said that I would not participate.
Look, I
one
get it.
bit
He's
of
fun. He's fun. The shanties they rhyme, and he's handsome. But I also could let him meet God.
Okay. My disposition on not wanting to intervene is more like I wouldn't want to participate in a fight that I don't believe in. I don't believe anyone here should have the weapons other than maybe myself and you in any way, shape, form, or whatever. So if they exchange hands, no skin off my back, right? It's just also like they may not be the most pleasurable people in the world when it comes to a societal structure, but that doesn't mean they're not useful, and I wouldn't want to make an enemy.
I'm also thinking that we have. How much do you know about Marissa?
Me? I have never met them. I know that you would hate them.
How much do we know?
As a party, it did happen a while ago. The representatives you sent to meet with her were Hope and Krishna.
Could I?
Oh no.
Oh.
Could I make?
Oh, I remember this.
Could I make like a recall check based
Yeah.
on like the different like?
Yeah.
Could I also do
based on
that?
my different little criminal organizations that I have to see
Yeah.
if I know anything about her.
You can each do recall with recent history or gossip, or through your networks, Laya. But yeah, easy or not easy. Krishna and Hope did meet her, and since that was so long ago, I will recount that.
Does this count as a
for free.
Does this count as a culture check?
Yeah, I'll count it as a culture check.
I got a 5.
I got
Okay.
a D8. Huh. I got a 7
And that would be expertise.
because I have
Okay.
The +2.
So knowledge.
the history attribution. So
Knowledge that nobody has to roll for, that you would have as players. You would know that you've met with a Marissa before. She is the most neutral person probably on the peninsula, and she gave you guys very stern words to deliver to Raster and his advisor, Alaril, of stop trying to set fires in my region. I'm not joining whatever war you're starting, because my city is literally going to be the front line. That said, I'm gonna go through each person's role. So it's gonna be a 6 for easy, or a 7 with your shared blessing. Yeah, I think everybody except what's that?
I guess if I have the blessing, I have an 8.
Okay. Everybody's gonna get uncommon knowledge except for Krishna.
Yeah.
So the common knowledge, you would all know a Marissa is the current leader of Southcrest. Southcrest is not like other Red Axe city-states. One of the things that makes each of these city-states so popular is that people band together and kind of create united representations within the Red Axe Alliance. Southcrest does not do that. Specifically, Southcrest has a single magistrate, and they say everybody else in the region around them is on their own. They only represent the city to the Alliance, and each of these individual tribes and stuff around Southcrest has to find their own representation and oftentimes payments within the Alliance. Of like every city state, every tribe, every group that has a voice in the Alliance has to send a certain number of people to participate in the army, as people who transport logistics around the nation, as sailors, and so it's one of the reasons that this tribe is so strained, because again, Marissa only looks out for the people inside of her city. Uncommon knowledge, I would say that it's probably circled around that Marissa doesn't like the Alliance either, but is in no way, shape, or form willing to anger it, and probably has faced some recent repercussion as to her liberal use of privateers.
In essence, I mean, I guess if I can extrapolate that the High Judge being there for tea isn't just because they happen to, love sharing the hot goss together.
Yeah, I think that it would be more of a mending fences type thing, of like welcoming him into the city is like a act that probably shows her dedication to the Alliance after being slapped on the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be some kind of check I could use? I mean, because Easy has basically just the secondhand knowledge, right? I've never met this woman. But my thing, I guess where Easy's coming from is these motherfuckers just shot the High Judge.
Yes.
Yeah, is she
And her private. So one, that feels like a problem. I guess I could just be saying this out loud. So look, these guys just basically committed a terrorism, and Marissa doesn't want that smoke.
No, we've done that before.
But
too.
here's the other thing: the Shiverspine pirates want to steal the evidence.
So, like, here's the thing.
Which I feel only would make her culpability worse.
Here's the thing. She doesn't want to be involved with the whole chaos thing. She definitely doesn't want to be involved with us, and she apparently knows who we are, based off of the conversation Hope and Krishna had.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you said anything about, because she doesn't know who has it, right? We know who has it. The Shiver Spine Pirates know who has it. She doesn't quite yet likely know who has it, because if she does know, she's just gonna rat them out fucking instantly.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is.
So I don't think that you should go to the table with that, because that seems like it would only backfire on you.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I should go being. Well, that's the thing. To me, that knowledge is more about this right now. Like, hey, you have a problem of. You guys just caused a you just became a problem for
Yes.
the league that you now want to possibly be your taxer.
Absolutely. So, like, what I would suggest is the pirates are coming. You can't really stop that. They're going to have a fight, and they're likely going to win. And
Can we
take
leverage
whatever-
this?
I think if you like leverage this and that idea and this threat, and then you can offer to hide it as being part of the tribe. Like, sure, you're new, but you technically earned the respect, and then you have the backing of, you know.
So my point is, do you think we can get the pirates to back off if we basically tell them that we're gonna snitch on them?
I don't think you can get them to back off because they don't care. Realistically, it's them against the world, and they know that. I think the best you can do is hide and move the evidence. Let them come, tell them they were wrong, and the reason you're here is to check that.
As
And,
you
know,
guys
pull
are
a little
talking, by the
fit.
way, Bassinet starts approaching you.
This girl.
I'm gonna wave.
Hello.
She'll wave and say, "All right, good news. Your voice is accepted here, and I've gotten Merrick put on the agenda for tonight. If you and I vote together, we'll form a pretty sizable chorus."
3%.
You gonna go?
Me?
No, not you.
She's addressing Easy.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
she's informed you your voice is accepted here, and she has also gotten Merrick onto the agenda for tonight.
Okay, so basically we can talk about him and his devil deal.
She's going to shake her head and say, he didn't tell anybody how he acquired the stash he got. The council's going to ask him questions about it, and he'll be compelled to answer truthfully. Hopefully he doesn't mention that part. The only reason I knew is because she'll raise her hand and a divine light will start radiating from it.
Oh, I can do that too.
Can you?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Hope swings towards you. You age 5 days.
No, not like that.
But yeah.
I worry that it'll become more localized. Like if Hope doesn't aim it right, just my hand will become 5 years older. Like, oh god, no.
To be clear, I can make you breathe underwater. I can't actually change time usually. It's like when it's like Schrodinger's cat. It's just Schrodinger's age. As long as it hasn't been,
Once you have an
seen it
official
yet.
age, your age can't be changed retroactively.
Yeah, but if we don't know how old you are, it can change.
Bassinet will let the energy fade and say, ideally, The town doesn't want to be known, or rather, the village doesn't want to be known as thieves. If
Can I make my hands
Merrick
go?
admits stole them, we can vote together to return them to the Kalkin and just start healing this wound. One gash.
I mean,
at a
I think
time.
frankly that would be for the best because kind of gives Laya the look like, can I talk about this?
I think like you give me that look and I just hold up my hand for just a moment. Even if you returned what you stole to the Kelkin, how does that solve the issue that you guys already shot the judge?
Basaneth is going to exhale and say, I was hoping that only my brother's life would be sacrificed, and that we'd meet again beyond the bridge. But he's traded so much more. She shakes her head. We give him to the consummate, and his fate's his own. He's made his decisions.
Yeah, that feels excessive.
If you want, I might be able to intervene in some way. You definitely owe me a favor. Pretty fucking big one. But I could provide him a place to hide. And I took the material in the contract for reasons other than to sign them. And I've come up with an idea on how to dissolve those types of bonds. It's just going to take a lot more testing and time. But it's not impossible. I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to souls and their movements.
She is going to be actually considering your words. And I think before she even gets out a response, Merrick is going to come stomping by into the group and say, "New voice, over here."
My name is
and,
Easy. Easy.
That's
It's
easy.
a
3
two
letters.
syllable.
I thought it was 2.
There's
No, there's
another
an E at the end. There's 2 E's. It's easy.
like 5 in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't bother remembering the name of people who are going to die on the edge of a cliff, but you managed to survive, so easy. He nods again to the
I'm
side.
twice your size.
I would say
And you can
he's
breathe on the
I've had a
probably-
whole.
He's probably taller than you, but yeah, you've definitely got a build on him.
I'm gonna be honest, thickness is way more important.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I've had a square meal in the last week and a half. Like I look like I ate him and added that to my girth. Like gee, I'm like if Kirby absorbed his powers.
Oh my.
Do you step aside with him?
Yeah.
Oh,
What are you gonna do? Take me in a fight?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap your shoulder when you're way by.
Oh no, I've aged 5 years.
He'll side eye Basaneth as you and him step away, walking over to the river. He'll say, "You got a voice now. Congratulations."
Yeah,
that
thanks.
idiot over there.
Be nice to your sister.
You're not my father.
I'm old enough to be your dad. Be nice to your goddamn sister.
Yeah.
You know what? It is a blessing. It is a blessing to be rude to your sister. My family doesn't even live in Red Axe anymore.
I'd love to just the responses. You have no fucking clue, kid.
She,
If you keep
he's
saying
going-
around me, you will be older.
It's like you're not my dad. You don't know that.
on the city.
He's gonna say, look, everybody trusts me for the village's security. No questions asked. If I provide it, they're happy. But now she's got everybody looking into how I do things, and their damn pride is going to get in the way of solutions.
Look, I'm gonna be upfront with you because I think, given the conversation that we're having right now, the things that you have done have directly impacted the safety of this tribe.
He's
Negatively.
going to say, you came looking for those weapons. We need them to stay out here.
So let me be more specific. Privateers that work under the table for A. Marissa saw you shoot the High Judge and have been snooping around town trying to figure out who you are, how you did it, and what did you do it with. So when I say you have negatively impacted the security of this village, I mean an active threat is coming because of what you've done.
I will handle it. Look, I'm here to make a deal. Just vote with me tonight, and I'll give you whatever you want from the stock.
What are you actually asking of me? Are you basically saying just, like, ignore how you acquired those things, and I get part of the pile?
How much knowledge does he have? Merrick is going to think for a moment and just gesture and say, we've given so much to hold just this, what is ours. Lives that you can't even begin to comprehend. If we just give up and we just move and we trance on, we say goodbye to the land where we raised our brothers, our sisters, other families' children. He shakes his head and says, we don't leave them behind. They're going to want to move to the city tonight. Or they're going to want to move the tribe to the city. And that's giving up.
I don't think it's smart either. Principles aside.
We have the ability to fight now. You saw what I did to the High Judge. Any of their legions they send here to clean up or collect, imagine what that bow's gonna do to one of their heads.
Look, I've said this before. The problem is that I don't think you have any idea what you have.
How fast is a reload?
You're not a warrior.
Oh, you hurt those poor little kids' pride. Oh no.
And look, I know that's mean. I know that sounds mean because it is. Because
I think Merrick
I've
completely
been where
understands. He's gonna
I've
say,
been where you're at.
Yeah, Merrick's going to shake his head and say, "I'm a craftsman. The warriors are dead, and if we leave, we
and see, here's the
dishonor
thing.
everything they died for."
No, and I get that, and it's not an argument for you to move the village. It's just. At some point, you are gonna run into something too good at what they do that you're... Basically, it's like this. Eventually, you will run into something that can take a cannonball. And then what are you going to do?
Merrick's going to nod, shrug, and look
What if
at
you?
you and say,
what if you miss?
He's gonna say, "What am I gonna do? Making friends. Can we vote together, please?"
Yeah, you've probably got my vote because right now you guys aren't in any position to be under her thumb.
He's gonna nod and say, "Good man. There's 6 weapons and a shit ton of supplies we can craft things with. The bow's mine, and 3 other of the swords are promised out to the kids, but I'll take whatever you, if you want one from them, and it's yours.
We'll talk about it later.
Merrick is gonna pause for a minute and say, "Fate may have turned me into a thief, but I don't stomach betrayal. Counting on you." And he's going to go back to his little bench.
Quick question. Completely unrelated. Does being blessed have a physical manifestation?
Yeah, I assume I have gills. I'm also
so-
65.
You're 60.
I would say, so in the rule books, or in the rule book, there is a section that kind of explains the visual traits of cursed. I would say bless is one that doesn't have enough commonality into it of like what carrying a god's blessing might look like. But for hope, I would let you decide that.
Okay, because I want my hand to glow like she did.
Yeah.
I want to be showing Krishna while they're all talking, like, look, I can make my hand glow.
Just seems
Alright, cool.
completely entranced with it.
I feel like for the emissary's path, I should, because I have chosen an emissary's path, I feel like I should just be able to, like, make myself glow on demand to try and make my words have more impact.
Why are you
Because I'm permanently blessed, okay? It's a curse.
It's not a curse. I could remove it if it was a curse.
That's true.
That's for Laya. That section was added this week to the
I
rule
don't
book.
think I have anything with a cursed trait.
Oh, is your sword not cursed?
Nothing I have is cursed.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
Yeah. I mean, you could, if you want it to be, I'm not against it. Oh, wait, no, I guess the runic weapon does have the curse trait if I use it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when, and essentially what that little explanation is just when you describe what cursed things look like. Generally, it's not that it's evil; it is just very unsettling.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah,
okay,
there's
so,
no
like,
there's no way you can describe, stealing, transferring, and eating someone's soul is like not unsettling.
oh, like to me, like what happens when she uses her dagger is that arms, like spectral, like gray arms, come out of the dagger and start grabbing and ripping into somebody's wound to try to get at their soul.
Yeah,
And when they die, it grabs them.
exactly. And I gesture you towards the descriptive section of the curse trait in the hostess area of the handbook. I kid. But anyways, Basaneth will consider your words, and she'll say, my brother's foolish. He's clinging to old ways, but if we want to survive, we have to acknowledge that time moves forward, even if we don't want it to.
And she's
If you can
talking
save
to
him,
me?
yeah, I'll help.
All right. I wouldn't need any help. I wouldn't need any direct help unless you're willing to be a test subject to be experimented on, which I imagine you're probably not because your whole like purity thing.
I already signed up.
Easy already signed up.
Easy's back.
I think what you would just need to do is convince him to go with me. Right? I'm a little lady. I can't drag his ass 3 hours through the woods.
She's gonna laugh and say, "Good luck trying to convince my brother to do anything."
Well, if the entire tribe turns against him, tells him his idea is stupid, and then offers his life as a recompense, I feel like in that situation where he's really desperate, he's already shown one weakness to giving in when things get desperate already. And if that's what you said your plan is, and Easy's going to agree with it, and then everyone else realizes what the fuck he just did and how much danger everyone else is in, I feel like it would be a pretty easy thing to convince them.
She'll nod and say, "Hey, I'm on board. I'll do what I can.
Alright?
This is better than flirting with devil's magic."
Mine's rather flirted with the devil.
Just recognize you do owe me one, and it's a big one, because God is just going to put a lot of heat on my back.
From God.
Which one?
The judge, likely, and
Yeah.
harboring the attempted assassin.
Face just goes pale at the mention of the High Judge.
I want to pat Krishna on the back. You can breathe underwater now.
Bassinet is.
I like
gonna
that
say-
that's like basically Hope's like, how's it going?
Handshake.
Hey, daps him up. You can breathe underwater now.
How about
Good! Or was that 5 weeks ago?
Why don't you
Bassinet
breathe
is
underwater
going
back then
to,
too? Oh no, I didn't. Never mind.
Leave, walking away and saying, "I'll see you at the vote." Easy. How about we move forward to it, since it is getting a little bit late from
Sure.
our late start. Is there anything anyone else wants to do? Because I feel like this might end up being another easy scene.
Before that,
but
I
you
would
guys
like
can
to-
attend.
if we could go back to the
powwow?
cabin with Krishna, now that she's actually here, and then like
Yes.
try
Oh
to-
yeah.
Oh, wait, can we powwow before? Can we like? It's like
Wait, you want to walk all the way back to the cabin?
Basically, I'm asking if we could go back in time for
Yeah,
Roy
can we-
to, like,
can we
to
retcon
actually
it?
address that
Um,
because Krishna was gone.
yeah, as
Yeah,
you
no,
guys
I
are
was-
leaving, we can rewind a little bit. What did
Yeah, I guess
Lyle
more
want
wanted
to
to
say
happen
as you're
there.
holding Krishna's hand, bringing her back to reality?
There's a
It's just
change
hey,
scheme.
Krishna, you there? Yeah. Hello?
Can I just... Ooh, do I want to basically push them away or slap them?
Why slap me? What did I do?
Being a little sneak. Although that is in your nature.
I do want to point out, as I said earlier, you can no longer breathe underwater.
Important. You're back at the cabin. You're on the little chair, just snapping at you. You good? You're no longer cursed. I have it like safely stored. I did have a couple of questions for you.
Sure. What?
All right, so I'm looking at this and I've come to a conclusion, and it would need some, testing to make sure that what I'm hypothesizing as part of the rules of like the soul transfer between like demons and shit is how it works. I would need to test some of it, and I know you like to help people with hope in them for some reason. So I was wondering if you would maybe particularly help me with this.
What are the side effects and what can possibly go wrong?
So theoretically, you shouldn't be corrupted because I put up a lot of wards to prevent that. So theoretically, that shouldn't be an issue. As far as side effects go, this is I'm not gonna lie to you. I will say that my particular study of Raycraft and the Movement of Souls is not one that is commonly looked into. And this specific magic that I would be attempting to try to come up with standardized ways of doing doesn't necessarily exist at this moment in time.
So
as
in other words,
just
you have
more
no
of a
clue.
creation. I couldn't guarantee any like side effects or anything. I wouldn't know. Theoretically, if this goes the way I think it goes, I could sever bonds of a imperfect divine nature.
Sever bonds. Oh, okay.
Effectively get people out of devil's contracts.
Ooh, that's
Fairly pertinent.
yeah.
Yes, which if you don't want to work with, it's fine. I won't lie to you, which is rare for me. So just accept that in this moment. The reason I am interested in this is because if this proves true, I can start extrapolating even more about the movement of souls. And if I can figure out this and the way those make bonds, I might be able to figure out the way Terrai are able to replicate themselves by eating other souls, and what soul type bonding is that infection, and ways to separate them in the future. So this is a stepping stone for that.
Okay. I mean, eating souls. That's
I'm not gonna eat your soul.
saying you are. Someone else can eat my soul.
Not in
That's
this
us-
moment.
Not true.
Like, I can't promise you that things will go perfectly. I can only promise to try my best in this situation, with the materials that I have on hand, which, if you look around, quite a bit. And this was a major leap for me to even take you here, because I didn't have to. I could have let that thing whisper in your ear forever.
I'm just going to look back at the cursed item and just see it slowly start hearing whispering, like sweet whispers and all that, trying to coerce me back. All right, I'm in. If I don't have to deal with
Hell
that,
yeah.
if I don't have to deal with that shit, we're good.
All right, would you like to be conscious or unconscious for this?
Oh.
I recommend unconscious just in case there's any massively painful side effects of like your soul being fucked with.
Krishna, is there like a low hanging beam? Like for the ceiling
no.
support?
There's a lot of things hanging from the ceiling, like lots of jars, and then like you see like bits of eyeballs, like bits of other weird organs. You can tell like a lot of the shit in here is massively cursed.
Okay, I wasn't sure if there was like any sort of like low hanging like ceiling support that I could just basically bash my head in.
No, look here.
Hey, that's one way to knock me out.
Yeah, so you see that bottle over there? Just like take a deep breath in that bottle. Right there, to your left. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Right.
How big of a bottle is it?
It's about my hand size, so it's really, really small for you.
So
Down in
right
one.
now, Laya's going to put Krishna to sleep and try
Try the experiment.
try to
At
curse
least
her.
try to like curse her and then uncurse her. Basically
good.
to see if I can separate those like that specific type of magic.
Okay.
And I did
and
just
how are you cursing her? Are you giving her the item?
Basically like I'm putting the item like close to her and then moving it just so like those like magical areas like begin to like touch and form, and then just using the little bits that are forming with her through small amounts of contact to see if I can remove those small bits to not, just put it all up on her at once and try to resolve it quickly. Like do it a little bit at a time. So it's it might be slower, it might not be like a perfect result, but it's one that's least likely to fuck her up.
Laya, as you try and handle this ingot, so you're not putting it on Krishna's person, you're just putting it near her?
I'm putting it near her, and then I'm basically like moving her hand closer to it to like see like the effective range of the curse, and then get just on that edge where it's like minorly affecting her, and then seeing if I can separate it like that.
I would say that you have enough knowledge of this curse that you would know that this is when somebody is within possession of it. So Krishna is mostly fine. You feel the effects of this as you pick it up. And then, finally when Krishna touches it, you two are going to be affected by this ingot. You feel that pull to desperation, the things that you want, the knowledge that's so close, the understanding that you almost have, and it's right here within this ingot.
Yes. I think a large part of like her fucking with this demon magic specifically is having this greater understanding of souls, and the desperation that she's feeling for that is why she wanted to experiment on Krishna, and is why she wanted to figure out and fuck with this even more. Like, it's amplifying my desperation, which only makes me want to dissect it more.
Beyond making a deal with Kreldis and calling her back, what else are you trying to do with this item?
With this item specifically, I know that I have the ability to like take souls and separate them, and then what Kreldis is doing is basically attaching herself or this little magical essence onto different people's souls in order to claim basically her glory over them. And so I'm trying to figure out if there's a specific way that I can cut through that. If she's making this bond in this way, the experiments are mostly, can I cut through that? Can I cut through that with my magic? Does it have to be magic plus alchemical? And I'm just basically testing that on the unconscious Krishna.
Okay. So I think this is getting like more mechanical than anything that is merited like through description, but I would say the longer you stay and study this, I don't think the device or the equipment to sever something like this exists, at least not in this plane of Ilderon.
Yes, I didn't imagine that existed yet. I'm just trying to figure out ways to create something like that.
I don't think you're going to get that from this experiment. In terms of, there are elements of this that as you do this experiment cannot be fabricated in this plane of existence.
All right. Interesting.
For more information, please go talk to Hobo God from the Nobles campaign.
Basically I would just ask, like, is there like maybe like an expertise role or something I could do to try to like figure out, even if it's not from this plane, what other elements from like that I might be missing, even if there's not clear, just vague hints.
Yeah. So
Giant if memory serves correctly.
Go ahead and roll me a story die.
Story. Okay.
And you're trying to beat a 15.
Not likely, but we'll see. Rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Awful.
So the way that this curse is bonding with Krishna, it's so immediate, and there are conditions and contingencies that Kreldis has put on it herself. That is how this functions. As far as for once it's in effect, I think that for Laya, looking and trying to understand this, I'm going to answer a question from your curse breaker, even though you didn't ask it. What
That's
can
what
I
I was-
do to break this curse? I would say for Laya, you have ideas of like similar spells and things that you use, like when you were taking off the necklaces from the slaves, but I think that this one is 10 times as tangled, if not 10 times, maybe 10 to the power, that to sever Krishna from this curse when it's active could very well just mean her end, much like how when a terrai's or when a person's soul is ripped by a terrai, they themselves eventually become one.
Got it. It's a massive tangled knot.
Yeah.
Gordian knot situation. Alright.
And I wouldn't
I
say
think-
it's just a tangled knot. I would say that this is a tangled knot through like 4 different dimensions of Krishna's like physical essence, her spiritual essence, and all of those things, and where even like her, what would be like her memories and her places in time, that is kind of all tied into this weaving thread. I didn't want to use this knowledge, and this is I didn't want to use this metaphor, but it's like the only thing I could really think of earlier, and you would have gotten this like while you were doing the experiments. I would say that this is a lot like the type of virus that HIV is, where how it completely rewrites like the internal like parts of everything that you are, so much so that it's a part of you, that to try and individually target out, that is very, very difficult.
Got it. Alright.
Right. I feel like I was touching the dragon's tail. Now I'm playing with the disease. Got it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and Krishna, or Laya, if you take this item away from Krishna, eventually, that curse will fade, leaving her alone.
Yeah, I think I would just like to basically, while I'm looking, just track the paths in which it fades, at the very least, if those tend to be consistent. And I'd probably spend like 3 or 4 hours on this before I wake up Krishna to head back. Basically, pick out a pack of smelling salts, bust it underneath her nose.
It's Kreldis herself removing the curse.
Interesting.
I think if you spend that much time with it, Krishna, you are going to be aware that this thing, Kreldis told you that, you can contact her with it. You would be aware that this thing is basically an eye for her.
Go
So
ahead. Put her back in the box.
Can I just yeet it into the box?
Well, it's no one because you might break it, and two because you might disturb the chalk outlines on it. Because again, the runes here are very important.
I'm still going to yeet it as gently as possible.
I'll let you softly drop it.
Okay.
That's as big as a compromise I can get on this. All right.
I will take it because I do not like the blue light that came out as I woke up.
Oh, that's just from the smelling salts. Don't worry about it.
No, that's not from smelling salts. I know that for a fact.
All right.
My mother used that on me.
Let's move forward back to the village. The meetings of the Council of Voices
Back to the
are
present.
open to the public. They are boring, and very few people choose to attend.
Krishna can now breathe underwater again.
While
Hey, that hand looks a lot like what I saw. So, just reminiscing to the light
Yeah.
scene while waking up.
Easy and Bassineth are going to form two of the 5 people in this room, or 2 of the 5 people inside of the meeting hut, and Merrick is going to be the 3rd. The old Pelori that you talked to earlier will also be here, and Isidari is going to be the final person here. After everybody convenes and comes in, the old Pelori is going to be the one who convenes the meeting, and he's going to say, "It's lovely to see you all here, even though you, Easy, as I'm told, didn't take the time to get my Mithrite milk. I welcome new voices to join us. And
I'm
I won't
sorry,
hold
it was
against you."
male.
Sometimes people who attempt the trial spend days on Moto Malima. It's impressive nonetheless that you did it in one. Anyway, our purpose for meeting tonight, we have to make another decision. We've gotten word from the consummate. Our contributions to the Alliance are expected soon. We either have to decide who to send, or we go and join Southcrest, and we stop worrying about this curse. However, one of our voices has asked that another item be moved into the agenda that she thinks is more important than our people's future. Merrick, who's been organizing the village's protection, has came across a wealth of incredibly helpful items. We did not inquire about the nature of them, but we've been led to believe that you've stolen them. Is everybody in favor of discussing this first and foremost? Bassineth will raise her hand, voting, and so will Isidari. The old man will say, "I certainly have curiosity and would like to hear your side of it, Merrick." Merrick is going to say, For whatever it's worth, my vote is that this isn't worth it.
Was this the thing that he wanted me to vote with him on?
No.
Okay, well then I'll like raise my hand or however I indicate that I think it's worth talking about.
The Isidari will speak up and say, "We're letting you lead and mentor our kids. Did you steal them?" Merrick is going to nod and say, "I did, but your kids weren't involved. It was me. I found out how to decode and remove the wards of the Kalkin's rune vault, and I brought them back to the city. Everybody down in that town's content to let us die up here. I don't see why we should feel any differently." The old Pelori is going to say, "Stealing within our tribe is a crime." And he's going to say, "But stealing from outsiders, it's the same as war. I might as well have bested the Kalkin." They'll be angry. How do we resolve this? Bassaneth is going to speak up and say, I'm well respected within our office. If we return the items, diplomacy's still on the table. This can be smoothed over easily. Isidari is gonna say, "Is this even a vote then? Let's return them." The elder's going to say, "Our young and Merrick are not exactly the fighting stock. These have added an extra measure of safety to our borders. If diplomacy's on the table, I don't see why the weapons need to be included in that. I've seen how the young carry themselves with pride." He shakes his head. Merrick's gonna say, "I don't think this takes any more discussion. We keep them. We deal with the Kalkin. They're diplomats first, warriors second." Bassaneth is gonna say, "This is diplomacy."
Bassaneth, if we keep the weapons, what is the Kalkin honor bound to do?
Follow the laws and judgments of the consummate. Were to chase, settle and resolve magical anomalies. Crimes, it's out of our jurisdiction. We'd report it to Crimson Keep, and it would be up to them.
So, you would report it to the consummate, and likely that would render her judgment against the tribe.
Easy, roll me a recall check. Knowledge again on anything you get, but specifically you're trying to shoot for that second tier.
Is this arcane, cultural, infernal?
I would say it is recent history.
Okay, so that sounds like it doesn't sound like I get any of my stuff. So I asked. Sorry. So recall, ancient, recent history.
Krishna, you're entitled to the same thing if you so desire.
I can use expertise.
And you both get a +1.
That's a
Can
7.
I make the roll? It's okay if not.
So roll with expertise.
I would say Laya can, but she's shooting for tier 3, where Krishna and Easy are shooting for tier 2.
Which I believe I got, which would be uncommon knowledge, right?
Yeah. And if anybody else wants to roll, you're welcome to, but I'm going to proceed forward because Easy did
Hope
get
has
it.
been zoned from the whole meeting.
Barely get it.
All right. So weirdly enough, one of the ideas of the Alliance when it was first made was to kind of stop all of this senseless chaos that Red X is prone to, with, you know, people stealing from everybody or from each other and wars over territory and all of this. The Alliance is actually a beautiful work of diplomacy. It sucks that it resulted in the consummate, but Easy, you would actually be aware, in Uncommon, the Kalkin are going to report to a Marissa, as far as like this crime goes. And what she decides to do is totally up to her if it goes any higher than her tower.
So internally, like this is Rob to Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's a chance that we could. So basically, this isn't necessarily going to go like in terms of this. Like, Bassinus has to escalate it to her manager, who then has to escalate it to her manager, and that's
Yeah.
a Marissa, who may escalate it to her manager.
Yeah, and I think Easy would probably pick up that this is more likely like a negotiation tactic from Bassinet.
With
The problem is I don't have a great read on a Marissa, so part of me is like, oh, maybe this won't be as messy as it has to be.
well, we know that she's not willing to go against the consummate in any way, shape, or form. And if somebody shot the judge with the
Yeah, I don't know if
weapons
yeah, that's the thing, is I don't know if I can talk her off the ledge. Like, I don't know if I could go make a. I don't know if I could intercept that, right? Because it's like, oh, you want to tell me that I have terrorists, and just to ignore the terrorist.
yeah, I think you have to like push that
Easy.
angle.
The vote is 2-2. Return the weapons or keep them. You are the tiebreaker.
If we returned the weapons, do you still have to report the crime?
Bassineth is going to say, from our side, there would be no crime. Just a Pelori who had a mistaken run-in with the Rune Vault.
See, I feel bad because I technically promised Merrick I would not betray him, and I'm about to betray his ass. Mostly because
that's
it's
not
that.
betrayal.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's technically betrayal in that like he asked me to do him a solid, and I'm not about to do that solid. But it's because he's gonna get his ass killed.
I would say it's not a trail because you didn't promise him this one. You promised not the move. That was the only thing you promised.
Oh, is that true?
That's what you said.
Oh, that was towards Emmy.
It was implied that you guys work together, keep the
Well,
weapons.
no, because he.
keep the
Well, right,
tribe
that's the
here.
thing. So if anything, I think it's both votes. It's not a singular vote. Like,
yeah.
like okay, to talk about how he got them, that's fine, whatever. But the end result of this meeting would be that they don't move the tribe and we keep the weapons. So this is a betrayal, if only partial in the grand scheme. Yeah, so Easy's gonna look at Merrick. If we keep the weapons, the safety they provide will turn inward. They'll backfire on us. Hey, Marissa is not going to keep this a secret. The consummate's going to know what you did. And I don't think you can protect them from that.
Merrick's expression is going to narrow. And he's going to say, none of you have faith in me. None of you have faith in each other. What's your vote?
I vote we return the weapons.
Merrick is going to go, ah! And he'll try his best to keep himself together. Basineth is going to speak up and say, "This is good. It's the first step in healing what you've done." Isidari is going to say, "First step? Is there more than stealing from the Kalkin?" Basineth is going to say, "No one here knows." Merrick's going to speak up and say, "I've challenged the High Judge. I put an arrow through whatever the thing he calls a heart is. I have to kill him." The old man's gonna say, "This is by far one of your dumbest decisions."
It's so good. It's so accurate, and it's just so like so wise.
So wise.
He's going to say, "Look, we either go south to Southcrest and we become citizens for Amorus's parties and parades, or we stay out here and the Alliance bleeds us to death. One way or another, this isn't ending unless something incredibly important to us is taken away. Whether it's life or our way of life. I'd gladly throw mine on the table." Isidari is going to say, "These weapons you stole, are they powerful enough to let you challenge the High Judge?"
I mean, it's so easy will chime in. I mean, it wounded him, but frankly, I think he fled not out of fear of what another attack would do to him, but because it did enough damage that the what's the name of the Davy Jones?
The Lone Siren.
The Lone Siren. I couldn't remember the adjective. But I'm pretty sure the Lone Siren, he's kind of like, I get it. I basically just said because Bigfoot would attack the High Judge. Would probably have pounced, and the High Judge at 80% is probably gonna lose that fight.
And we know she was in the area.
Merrick's gonna say, "Barbador is muzzled. They just need an excuse to fight. If I can show everyone that he can bleed, that I can bring him down, we won't have to worry about sending another 4 off to the consummate. 4 of our own who are going to go and do what? Burn and die and burn down part of Morzia and then die? For what? Change your votes. Take a chance on something different. Bassineth is going to say, different is moving to the city and enjoying its safety.
What safety? They even raise a capricious puppet for the consummate. I think relatively you're correct, but I just want to note that you're, sort of like picking which devil you would prefer to eventually be burned by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's not a lone group of just a couple dozen paying such a stiff price. All the everything that Amarissa contributes to the Alliance, we would get the benefit of. We'd practically have to give nothing. It's a city of tens of thousands of people. Every 4 we give hurts, and we'll feel it for generation. But a couple hundred coming from the city, they might not even come from our numbers. Not even one. The old Pelori will speak up and say, but our payments to the Alliance grant us more than just getting them off of our backs for a few months. They give us supplies and help us make a life for ourselves out here. Merrick's going to gesture and say, yeah, and when's the last time they sent one of those? Isidari is going to speak up and say, the council's voted. We give back the weapons. In this High Judge matter, Merrick will brush a hand and say, it's a topic for a different night. Let's get on to why we're really here. Are we all giving up or no? The old Pelori will speak and say, we've lost a lot of our mithril shapers. We don't have much to trade with the towns to the south. What weapons we do have left are worn and breaking. Safety is concerning. Do you think you'll be able to keep the village's walls up without these items? Merrick is going to say, it's never been a question of if I can do it. Yes, I'll find a way. The older man is going to say, I vote we stay then. Bassineth and Isidara are going to say, we've already talked about this. Isidara is going to say, I can't let my children just stay out here and say goodbye to each of their friends as every year goes by. Maybe we can find a life in Southcrest. If not Southcrest, maybe Farport.
Farport was where Raster is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Basaneth and Isidari are in agreement. Merrick is gonna say, don't let our sacrifices be for nothing. We stay. And unfortunately, it's a tie vote again.
How did they get things done before I showed up?
Basaneth is normally not here.
Oh.
She comes to
Man, I'm
town
terrible.
very
I basically just came in and staged a coup.
rarely.
Yes, that was the whole point.
Yeah, actually, that was the whole point, I guess. This one's a little weirder because it's like, these aren't my people. I've been here for an hour.
No, you've been here for a few days. Or
Well,
not
still,
a few
I'm
days. You've been here, yeah, earlier today you got
Still,
I've been here at 6 hours. Come on.
Yeah.
not long enough to upend their culture.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
I think they've all got good points. Unfortunately, I wish Emmy would have gave you a better, more these people are this decision good, that decision bad, but Emmy's a jerkbag.
Well, the thing is I think the problem is there's merits to both of them, right? Staying is kind of keeping their culture, keeping themselves sort of, they're not going to get forcibly melded into Southcrest, right? But it has its own sort of resource concerns. Anyways, Easy's going to take a deep breath and go,
If I could offer you extra insight, Rob.
well, so can I sort of state like what I was maybe gonna say in character, sort of to you, to spitball, just to make sure I'm on the right path? Yandars traditionally are mobile, right? Like usually they find like a niche, so maybe they're not like, okay, the mountains would be their place. So the idea that this is like a static village isn't odd. But like the traditional origin of these tribes is that they're nomadic.
Their great ancestors, Milsarai, were nomadic. Yandars tend to settle in places. These people, I would say they're a little bit more willing to roam, but they don't exactly leave the regions they roam through. If anything, it would be like we live in, this area in this region for 3 years or so, and then we migrate, 2 miles east where we can farm and, gather and kind of let the environment recoup over there. And then,
Point is that like it's not like uber nomadic. It's kind of like, look, we live because like these people would maybe not stay in one place defined as like a static location, but basically it would be in these mountains because of the ram, because of the mithril, the rams.
Yes. The other thing though I was gonna say that is just insight. One of the reasons these people's lives are so hard right now is Alarel is trying to push them to the city. She has had Easy probably working the roads for a while.
Yeah, but to say I'm going to probably end up casting this vote, and I'm also the reason this vote is being cast.
Yeah, if you
I'm scum.
stop, these people's life might get a little bit easier. Not completely manageable, but
I think Easy's thing too, though, is like obviously I've made it worse on them, but I think it's the people toll, right?
Mhm.
Like if they just had to pay taxes, it's kind of like, okay, we'd figure that out. But it's just like, homie, eventually you're not gonna have a Yandar because you're all gonna be conscripted and die.
yeah.
Well, that's part of why they want to move to the city, right? To less.
Yeah, well, and that to me, that's the like if you had to give Easy his tiebreaker or whatever, it's that, right? Like, what good is your like ancestral homeland if eventually it is like not populated? It's sort of like, hey, do you want to leave this tribe now, or do you want to leave it in like 6 months because you're out of people?
Unless
A
you
culture
trust
that's
Merrick.
people, not its land.
Merrick said he's going to shoot the High Judge.
Look, he can shoot the head judge. I'm gonna probably help him do that. I'm just, maybe maybe you go do it rogue, homie. I think ultimately, so this is in character. I think ultimately a Yandar is its people. It doesn't matter where you live, it matters if you're together. Keeping what traditions you can, what safety you can. Leaving is hard. I know I've only had a voice for not even a day, but my tribe does not reside in Red Axe anymore. We made this decision a long time ago. And it hurts. But they live.
Merrick is going to nod and say, I'm glad your voice lets me hear the true sounds of your soul. I'm outvoted. The elder is going to speak up and say, Bassaneth has made a life for herself in South Crest. We're all just as capable of doing the same. Together. Isidari's gonna say, we should meet again tomorrow night to decide how we're gonna move everyone and everything. We can rendezvous with our sick inside the city if we can move by the end of the week so they don't have to make the journey back. The elder's going to nod and say, yes. Another meeting tomorrow night. We'll discuss our plans for announcing it to the rest of the Yandar. And how we'll get everybody safely within South Crest's walls. Bassaneth, you should send word for us ahead. See if Alicitar, Allison will make room for us. Bassaneth will nod and say, my presence won't be here tomorrow evening, but of course I will ensure that you are well received. Merrick's gonna say, nah, yeah, of course you won't be here for the hard work. Just come in to tell us to do it.
Would you possibly need a hand talking to Marissa?
Bassaneth is going to shake her head and say, oh, no, she hates me and anybody pretty much associated with us. The only one she doesn't hate is Aladai. We'll send him.
Aladai's the vampire, right?
Yes.
God, he's great. Oh, wait a minute. He's handsome, isn't he? She has a type.
Merrick's gonna say, great, now we're gonna be playing the politics of the city.
Yeah, it's not great.
The other two voices are going to, or rather, the older one who's been leading the meeting is gonna say, well then with this, our affairs are adjourned for the evening. Bassinet will say, "Hey, I'll take some of the weapons back tonight, and I'll be back for the rest." She walks over to Merrick. He's gonna say, "Follow me."
If it's okay, I would like to go with them.
No, I'll ask that too because like you're kind of my entourage. So weird as that is to say,
The more
and
hands,
not the leader
better.
of this party.
I mean, you are the leader.
I mean, at least in this relative location.
Nah.
All right. As you all leave the hut, you are Merrick's going to start leading you towards the river, and before he does, he stops and looks out. You guys can see Grothrin is talking to somebody and getting knocked on his butt and consistently standing back up. And so it's like, "Damn it, stop playing with visitors." Wow, one sec. Merrick.
Oh no! I'm coming with because my.
We know what this is.
I think I know what this is, and they are not hurting my son.
You were moving with.
Yeah, if you guys follow Merrick, Grothrin is going to stand up and say, "You just surprised me. I'm really..." He has a dagger in his hand, and he is ready to attack. Captain Sema is stood before him, spear in hand, and he's going to say, "Honestly, kid, did nobody teach you?" He pokes him with the butt of the spear against the head, and Grothrin stumbles back. He's gonna say, "Come on, another time, like I just showed you."
I'm gonna wave at Captain Sema.
Sema is going to look at all of you, and who's the pirate or privateer with him? I didn't actually write.
I'd
it
assume it would be his.
It's not his first mate.
Not the first man. Okay.
Yeah, but I do remember he brought somebody, but I didn't record who. But yeah, Captain Sema and their companion would be
We shall
with
not
him.
be named.
They wave at you and say,
Yeah, that's fine. I'll leave.
"Hey, what's up?" He's gonna say, "You beat us to it. You sea
Yeah.
dogs."
Yeah, definitely did. Anyways, and then I'm gonna just start running as though I had the weapons on me.
Actually, Aloe, make me a reason check. In passion. Use your world dice.
My world dice or my passion dice? Because those are two different things.
No, impassioned is the trait.
Okay.
That you're using. Your world die is what your...
Not great. Again, I have a D6. These dice are really bad, and I don't understand how you're supposed to roll good in
Well,
them.
this is actually a contested
Exploit it.
roll against Captain Sema. And
I
Captain... so you did fail, by the way, as you go running off into the woods.
To be fair, I am blessed. I got a 3.
Yeah. You didn't fail by 5. Actually, Captain Sema rolled a 9. I'm so sorry.
I
But-
tried.
Yeah. If you want to describe like what Laya is trying to perform here, you will get experience though.
Yeah, I think like in this situation, like Laya just like goes up behind Easy because he's pretty big, and I grab like some of the weapons off of his back. They're not like bows or anything, but I know he knows
My
that
hand
it's
axes.
weapons, but he might not know what it is, and I just like stuff them into like my overhanging cloak, and I just fucking take off in a direction because I told him I would beat him to it and steal it first. and I just cackle as I run away with his hand axes and trying to get him to believe that I have it on me.
Okay, yeah, and as you run off, Captain
I mean, we didn't
Seema-
talk about this plan, so I'm definitely shocked. Like, there's a certain, like, what the fuck am I at?
Yeah, Captain Seema turns in step, pauses, and taps his friend, and says, "You go after her. I'm gonna hang out with our friends here." He turns back and smiles.
By the way, if you jump in the river, you can breathe underwater.
I'm actually going to take this moment to be like, okay, Grothrin, the thing is that you got to make sure that your plant foot is behind you. You need a steady base.
Grothrin will roll his D6 against Captain Seema's D12 as Captain Seema again turns the spear around and jabs it into his stomach. Grothrin stumbles back. Merrick's going to step forward, hand moving to the side, and a white bow of light forming. Within
Come
it.
on, Merrick, buddy.
He's gonna say, "Hey, you're not welcome here, and leave him alone." Seema's eyes are going to go wide and say, "You're the one who shot the demon." Merrick is gonna say, "It's a devil."
They get really particular about that.
You want to turn around and head back to the city. Seema's gonna say, "No, I want that. What do I have to do to get it off your person?"
Seema, do you really want that? You know, he shot the High Judge, right? And for the record, sorry, let me specify. That is not a threat to you. That is a reminder that you work for a lady who does not need that association.
Oh my god, Rob. Seema is technically a privateer.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say, the only thing stopping us from attacking Red X Alliance ships was that stupid judge. With that, we could take down so many.
Oh my god, wait a minute. Can I recruit the pirates to my communist cause?
Yeah.
They're not pirates. They are constrained
They're
by
reformed.
contract.
Wait, so I guess I'm confused by who they're contracted to, because I kind of feel like they're agents of Amarissa, not so much the greater state of...
They are, and Amarissa doesn't want them attacking Red Axe ships. Seema is going to exhale and say, "Captain Seema of the Shiverspine Privateers." Merrick's gonna say, "I don't care."
This is Merrick. He's a voice of the tribe here. You know me. I'm also a voice of the tribe here.
Let me send one of my crewmates to hang out here for a few days. When you die, we'll just take it. That sound fair to everybody?
He's not gonna die in the next few days.
Oh, you shot the High Judge. You're dying.
They're definitely gonna come after it.
Look, Seema, I have a
Merrick
question for you. I have a very important question for you. Who's gonna tell?
The High Judge?
I don't think the High Judge knows.
Oh, who they are?
Yeah.
I want to generally be standing like off to the side, but between, but like not directly between, but just kind of off to the side where I'm equal distance from both parties, just in case something breaks out.
I'm just attacking and cutting a pirate's.
Also,
I think so.
Yeah, there's definitely a pirate being murdered in the background. Yeah.
This isn't a banner, but creatures do have resolve to shake them from their goals. I think your initial point just shaved off most of Seema's resolve. Roll me a reason check, because you're bringing up some stellar points.
Okay, my world die. That's what I wanted to confirm.
Yeah. You're trying to beat a 3.
Beat a 6. Or I got a
As-
6.
Yeah, as Seema's gonna say, gosh, you all sound just like Pyra.
I know, doesn't it
Follow
kind
the
of
laws,
suck?
Seamus.
I know, follow the laws.
Make
If it makes you feel
problems.
any better, I want to shoot that thing so many times that it just bleeds everywhere and goes away. But we gotta play the game, right? You gotta play nice so often. You gotta play nice so that eventually you get to play naughty. You get it.
Seema's going to rub their nose and say, "We're in town for 2 more days. Send the boy to the docks and I'll give him sword lessons." And Seema's gonna turn around and stupid privateers suck.
If you ever want to talk about it, Seema, you'll be here for 2 more days. I have a pamphlet.
How about we end there for the night? Or you know what? Actually, we won't end there for the night.
Can we see how brutalized this pirate is?
No, where we'll end. Merrick will show you the cache of weapons, and they have hidden them right over by the river. Like I said, there are 5 items here. The 6 is soul bonded to Merrick. And he'll tell you guys he'll give it to you on your second trip, which is the bow. I will get you a list of what's here, but you guys didn't make a deal with them, so you'll have it.
Do we
until...
need that list?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Unless you intend for us to get into some kind of fight between now and the Calkin Vault, I don't think I need to know what I'm holding. I have a MacGuffin.
Fair enough. And we'll end here for the night.
Just as a small question, is it assumed that I beat the shit out of the person he sent after me, or am I going to have to fight him?
No, that guy also passed of just like, wait, hey, nothing looks really special about those.
I thought he got sent after me to. So
no, just Seema wanted to see what you took. He didn't trust that those were actually the items because everybody else was waiting.
I have the feeling that he started Seema was after her, and he was like, hey, wait a minute, those are just hand axes.
Yeah, and it was just like, you go check it out. I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The guy that went to go check it out, not Seema himself.
Yeah, it's not Seema. The guy was not sent to beat you up. You guys are friends with the Shiver Spine pirate.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't shaking you down. He was just like, what? Hey,
soon
you
the
go
Shiver
after
Spines
her,
will
I'm
fly
gonna
the
stay
hammer
here.
and sickle on their masks.
We do have some questions for the night. Did any player express emotional vulnerability tonight?
Easy talked about his family.
Yes.
I think Krishna being bullied into being cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krishna, yes.
A willing participant. Honestly,
Did any player
inspiring sacrifice
rush to an act of heroism?
I guess maybe.
I mean, Laya did technically make herself a distraction.
I did try.
Yeah, she could.
And you guys have seen Seema in action. They're not the easiest person to deal with.
I saved half the town from drowning.
Were they ever at risk of it?
That's not important.
But
You also aged a woman a year.
Did any player make space for another player to contribute? Yes.
Easy.
So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Easy did that a
and
lot.
Mark 3 experience for tonight. And hopefully we will have more rules about items and the rest of the system. Oh, this system is so close to being just in draft 1 for play testing.
The plus and minuses do not do that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the plus minus don't work. Don't do that.
No, the plus minuses don't work. So I failed with the soul thing. I failed with the I failed everything that I did today. So those 3 failures, which is +3, and then another +3, and I had 4. So I think I just get 2 full bars.
That would be 2 full bars. That's 10 total.
So I have 40 XP to spend. Ooh.
So,
all right.
You could argue you have 60 because I have 20 and I owe you money.
No, I don't think that's how that works. I'm not gonna say that money equals XP because that's a fucking dangerous game.
Anyways, does my debt at all get paid by being your guinea pig?
No.
Damn it.
Why would it?
I should
Did
ask
you
these
offer
things
that
before I
before you
volunteer.
Oh,
I should read the end user license agreement.
yep.
I'm going to tentatively take this group to break. Our next session would be on the 23rd, which would be Christmas Eve. So
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'll make the same deal I made with the other group. We are going to be on break until early January. I am not scheduling any games. I am a current stay-at-home wife. So if you guys want to do West March style and you find times that work for you and present them to me, I will host the game. If you just let me know. But
clearly
as of
we
right
have
now-
to schedule. We have to schedule some kind of one-shot deal so we can just playtest your system more.
Yeah.
make Boba backstory.
I feel so bad because, like I said before, it's character dependent on how I roll. And Laia is at a game cursed to roll poorly. And like in this system, it is only accentuated on how badly I can roll.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, the worse you roll, the more stuff you get, that eventually you do get to a point where you just stop failing rolls.
Maybe.
Right, you can acquire the kind of skills where if Emmy ever makes the mistake of letting me roll a recall check on Arcane, you're just like, yeah, I probably passed it because I have a +6.
Did you
So-
move your momentum track?
Oh, my
Laia?
thing has been off.
Did you move your momentum track up one? Or I guess down one? Because you failed by more than 5 against the contest.
Oh
So
man,
you
and
can-
see, after we
Yeah.
relocate these poor refugees
Your
to
next
the city,
floor, you're
I
gonna
can
get
have
you
Grothrin, my son, go hang out with the pirates, which is definitely a thing a responsible father would do.
It should be on the +1, not the -1.
I am
So until you
already
do a
killing
contest, you get
parenting,
+4.
letting my son hang out with pirates.
Okay, wait. So
Yeah.
the more I feel like it goes to the pluses, not the minuses, because
Yeah.
when it says back and forward,
Back is left, forward is
interpretation of back and forward is very different between
This is
me.
this is a catch-up mechanic and a
So-
dampening if you're doing too well. It's not a punish you when you're down and reward you for being ahead.
I thought it was brutalized me when I was down.
No, it's the opposite.
But I make the
This is
joke,
Mario
right?
Kart.
Like, oh, look at me being a great dad. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Historically speaking, I don't think I've ever been a good dad in Ilderon.
If this is the case, I should be at 2d4 because
Well, I
missed
guess
a
Roman
15
Drake's a
by
good
1.
dad.
I missed a 15 roll by 14, and then a
I
9 by
forgot
3.
about
I
that
should be at
one.
2-4.
Yeah, there you go, Lyle.
Okay, now you're in star or bullet bill range.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really fucked.
I'm going to end the broadcast, but
Okay.
I'll still be here for a little while after. All
I
right,
have
goodbye,
2
everybody.
quick
watching. Bye.